Uh, okay, so now what we should do is, I guess I'll just give you like more examples to make sure that you guys understand. So I'll first just draw C here, so you guys can use that as, oh, did Mia leave by accident? Okay, all right. So I'll just put down middle C here, so you guys can use this as like a marker to find the other notes. And the note that we just found earlier was here, which is G. Oh my god, that's like another circle. It's okay, Mia. Um, so if this is C to G, then what would this note be? Anyone that feels like they know can type it in the chat. Um, no, it's not D because, um, well, I guess it's kind of close to D. D is actually up here, but this one is B because if this is G, right, it's like counting the alphabet. But then, except it doesn't go past G, right? So if it's A, B, C, D, E, F, G, then after you go to G, then it just goes back to A, B, C. Oh wait, C, D, E, F, G. So because this is G, then one note above it will be A, and then B. So the note that I drew over here, this one, would be B. All right. Audrey, did you? Oh yeah, Audrey knew it was B. So that's good. So I'll give one quick test to make sure that Audrey can also tell what key signature is, just so that she doesn't keep answering questions she already knows. So if I were to give you a song that looked like this, what key would it be in? D major. Okay, very good. So do you know what strategy you used to find it? Because you're right, and I just want to know how you figured it out. Oh, you memorized it. Okay, that's one way of doing it. So did you memorize like how many sharps there are will be whichever, I guess, like what how many sharps will be what major, and like how many flats will be whatever? Or did you memorize or how did you memorize it? Oh, all right. Um then and then basically the way I'm not quite sure because if this is D major, it can also be what minor because like minors and majors, some of them have like the same flats and sharps but different names. So if this was D major, then this is which minor key? B minor. Okay, very good. Um, basically, a way of understanding how to figure this out without purely memorizing it is knowing like the order of how like they draw the sharps. So, for example, if I wrote all the sharps on the music, it will look like this. That's seven, and there's only seven keys on the piano. And basically, this is F, C. Yeah, it is C sharp major. Very good. F, C, G, D, A, E, B. And then this you kind of just have to memorize the order of the sharps. This thing you kind of just memorize. And same thing goes for flats. Flats are the same, but just backwards. So it would be. Let me just clear this page. Flats would be. It'll be B, E, A, D, G, C, F, which is exactly like the reverse of the sharps. F, C, G, D, A, E, B. So B, E, A, D, G, C, F. So if you memorize the way sharps go, then you can figure out the flats because it's just backwards. And the way you tell which key it is, if is for major, it's quite simple. For example, if there are just like I'll use the example from last time. If there's two sharps, and then you can figure them out by just looking at the music. This is an F sharp and a D sharp. So find the sharp that's closest to the right. So this is towards the left, and this is towards the right. So it's the we look at D sharp, and then D sharp. Um, wait, sorry, I don't know what I'm talking about. It's C sharp. Sorry, sorry. So we look at F and look at C, and C is the one more towards the right, or like I guess you can say like the last sharp. So what's one note above C? Mia, I want you to answer. All right, good. So if this were a major chord, then this would just be D major because D is just one note above C. Well, using the same logic, if there was if it was this key signature, F, C, and G, we would look at the G because the first because this is the I guess you can call it like the last sharp of like uh and like it's also the most towards the right, like I said. So we look at G, and what's one note above G? Yeah, I want you to answer again. Um, this is G. This is in the position of G, and what's one note above G? All right, so Audrey answered for you, and yeah, like she said, um, A is the one above G because, like I said earlier, it's like the alphabet, except there is nothing after G. So A B C D E F G, and it resets to A. So this would be A major because A is the one that's one note above G. Oh, sorry. It's okay. It's okay. Your sister was talking. Here, is your sister quieter now so you can hear me? Um, is it quieter where you are right now? Can you actually hear what I'm saying? Or is your sister still being noisy? Oh, she's still too loud. Okay. So for now, I'll just ask Audrey some questions, and you can just, I guess, try to move to a quieter space. If you can't, then that's okay. Okay, Audrey. So I guess you know all the keys for I guess for major. So if I gave you, I guess I'll only use sharps for now. Uh, sorry. Uh, which minor key is this? C sharp minor. Wow, very good. So I assume that you can also figure out which flats are which. So if I gave you, if I give you this, do you know which key it is in? B flat. Uh, oh, nice. You told me both the major and the minor. So I guess this is easy to you then. So what's the current topic or like the current subject that you're learning in music with your teacher? Do you think you're learning, I guess, intervals or like anything else? Because reading basic sheet music is like it looks like it's already easy to you. So you already learned intervals. So like what's the current thing that you're learning then? Or did you just finish learning intervals? Grade six theory. I see. So wait, that's actually pretty good because if you've only been learning music for 2 years and you said you're six right now, so you're 6 years old doing level six theory. Wow, uh, that's actually kind of like maybe you're a genius. Um, so I guess I can see if do you know how to check. All right, all right. Mia has learned this all the notes of the of music. Okay, that's also very good. That's a lot better than before, because I guess now I can actually read music. Um, all right, so I guess I'll go a little bit into intervals just to make sure. So, um, here and uh, what would you do to these minor intervals and to turn it into major? For example, um, let's do this one first. How would you turn this into a major interval? And how would you turn it into a major interval? And what interval is it currently in? If you feel like it, you can always speak through the mic if it's easier for you because you don't have to type everything out. And if you don't understand anything, you can always let me know, Audrey. Oh, Mia doesn't know how to turn them. It's okay. Go back to your. I'll teach you something that you'll find useful right after this because it's just a bit hard to teach both you and Audrey because Audrey is already learned quite a bit of music already, and you just learn how to read sheet music. And there's nothing wrong with that. Everybody like starts learning music at different times. It's just that it's hard to teach something that you both will find useful. Because if I teach something that is your level, then Audrey will find it boring, and because she already knows how to do it. And if I only teach what Audrey needs to learn, then you won't really like learn anything or gain anything from that either, because you don't understand anything. So yes, Audrey, it is minor second, but how would you turn it into major second? There's two things you can do to it. Add a sharp to C or add a flat to B. Yes. However, what would happen if you added a flat to B and also a sharp to C? What would that be called? So what would this be? Augmented second. Yes. And for example, um, here, if I put a flat on B, which you usually wouldn't, but then what would that be? Oh wait. Ah, sorry. Yeah, you're right on that one. I didn't mean to. I didn't mean to say flat on B. I meant to say a flat on C. Sorry. Usually you wouldn't do this, but then what would this be? A minute second. And in this case, actually, it might even be a perfect unison because C flat is just the same as B, and two like that'll just be perfect unison. All right, so I guess I don't really need to teach you anything more about intervals if you already know augmented, diminished, uh, and just major minor, because that's what you need to know for level 6 and 7. So if you already know this, you probably don't need to uh, do that much more on intervals. Um, I wish I could teach. I wish I could test your hearing, your listening right now. If you do decide to join back next week, I'll figure something out to teach and like train hearing and listening. But for now, I can't really do that unless you want me to sing, which is probably gonna be horrendous. So, Mia, I'll go back to something that you'll find like that's something that you can actually learn. So, uh, now that you know the notes in the treble clef, by the way, this is treble clef. This symbol, it's basically a higher register. Everything on here is like higher than what would be on here, and this is called bass clef. So treble clef and uh, and bass clef. So um, do you happen to already know how to read music on bass clef? All right. So it's the same idea as reading treble clef. One w- one step up, it's just like one note up. So uh, this is if this note here is C, then one step above it would be D, and two steps above D would be F because it's just counting by one by one. So C, D, E, F. So it's the same as treble clef, as in how you count it. But in order to know how to know what to count, you need to know like the most basic note first, which is also C, because that's probably one of the notes that you'll be seeing the most often. And C is here. And then just a quick note: this C is not the same as this C. They're both called C, but like I said before, this one is in the middle of the piano. It's over here. It's in the middle of the piano. While let's see, let me get red color. So this C is the same as this one, but then this C, like I said earlier, bass clef is lower. So this one is actually here. This note is this one. All right. So if I gave you let's see, this note, Mia, how would you know what note it is? Well, just tell me what note it is, I guess. Remember, this note here is C. What I mean is, uh, what's the name of this note here? Remember, on treble clef, this is C. Then one note above it will be D. Oh yeah, yeah, it is B because I guess I'll write this down just so it's easier for you to uh, do, so you don't need to think about all the letters in your head. E, F, G, right? So one note below C is B. All right, so since you know this one, then uh, still, what is this note? The red one. And let's see how many steps above C it is. it's one, two, three. So you count up by three from C. Yeah, it's F. And then this one then, and how about this one up here on this line? Nice. And okay, this will be, I'm not sure how you'll think about this question, but then let's see if you can tell which note this is. So what would, let me get the pencil out. What would this note be? Not quite. Do you see how there's a line through it? That line is basically just like this. It means the same thing. Think of it as like an extra line on the music. It's the same thing as that. So, oh wait, why is it not erasing? Uh, So, um, if it were B, then it'll just be right on top of the line. It'll be touching it. It'll be touching it like at the bottom here. But because this one is not touching and is over here, this note is actually C because this is what's one note above this one. This is one note above B over here. So this is A, B, and one step above C. And this C is actually the same as this one. These two sound the same because you're coming from here and you go C, D, E, F, G, and then A, B, C, and you're back to here. So just because it's on bass clef doesn't mean you can't play the same notes that treble clef has. It's just that obviously if I'm always writing on like the lines and like blank spaces and whatnot, it'll be pretty hard to read because you'd always be counting up and down and stuff. So for lower notes, it's easier to write them on bass clef, and for higher notes, it's easier to write on treble clef. All right, so um, how about you guys can take a 5 minute break and we can continue after that. Okay, so I think it's been 5 minutes. Um, if you guys are back, just send me like just like type one in the chat. Hi, okay, hi Audrey. So um, I guess we can continue from looking at the base clef. And I'm sorry, Audrey, that this is like stuff that you already know, obviously, if you are doing like grade six theory. But I guess you had to just sit through it because we have another friend here that isn't like that far in yet. So I need to make sure that she can learn something too. So um, just I'll just ask you one question about reading in base class. So just a reminder, this note here is C. Then what is this note? Oh, sorry, that's a bit misleading. What is this note? You can only see a blank page. Um, try. I actually don't know what you're seeing. Do you see those two arrows? Do you see the two arrows like above the piano? Oh, now you can. Okay. So, uh, this note. What note is this? You can count again. So this is C. This is one, two, three. What's three notes below C? Yeah, this is G. Um, if you get the next one right, I'll move on. Then what is what's this? I already told you that one before. What's this one? What note is this? F. Okay, so it seems that you got a good grasp on how to read notes in bass clef. So now I'll move on to key signature again. So the idea is exactly the same as treble clef. It's still for sharps. It's still B E. Oh no, that's for flat. Sorry. It's still F C G D E A B. Wait, A E B. Sorry, not E A B. Uh, da, 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 da. So these are still all the sharps, and these are still all the flats. Oh, sorry, somebody's calling me right now. Just give me a quick second, and then tell them that I'm busy. Um, basically, so uh, remember how if like for all the sharps on treble clef looks like this. It says F C G D A E D. D, oh, Man, why did I write D here? It's B. So this is F C G D A E B. Um, and it's the same for bass clef, just that it's in different positions because the like where notes are different. So remember what we said earlier? This is C. So F would be C, D, E, F. So F would be on the one, two, three, fourth line. So that'll be F. And then C, like we said before, is here. And G is one step above F. So it'd be here. And then D is one above C and is here. And then A is down here below the C. And then E and then B. And I'll ask you one question about how you find the keys signature again. And like I said before, it's just one step above, like the one, like the last sharp. So this is F, sorry, this is F, C, G, D. So these are the sharps, F, C, G, D. Then what key signature would it be? So this is the last one. This D is the last sharp, and you just count one up from D. Right, E. And um, basically, let's add one more sharp, and now there's an A. What would this key signature be? Nice. All right. So now we can do flats. Um, and flats, just like treble clef, same notes but just their position. So remember how this was C. Then if we're starting on B, then B would just be one step below it. So it would be B, E, A, D, G, C, F. Sorry. Ah, man, it's really hard to write on a mouse. Um, and that is those are all the flats for bass clef. And the way you find the key signature is a little bit different from sharps. So sharps is just one note above the last sharp, but basically this is similar, but you just find, uh, for example, you just look at all the flats, and then you look at the second last one, the second last one. So if this was the last one, this is the second last one. And which note is this flat on? Which note is over here? If you don't know, you can just say C. Nice. C. So because the second last flat is on C, then this just means this is C flat major. It's just that easy. It's whatever the second last flat is. So if you use like the same way of thinking, and there's only like 1 minute left of class, so I'll just give you one more question. So what would this key signature be? So this one will be the second last flat. D, nice. So this is D flat major. All right. So I think today's class was a bit harder because it's hard to teach people from like really big I guess spectrum like the different spectrums of like music if you're already pretty skilled compared to like if you're just learning it's pretty hard to teach a group class like that but I think both of you guys did really well and I feel mainly I couldn't really teach Audrey any new stuff because I feel like Mia just has so much she needs to like catch up to so sorry about that if you need to sit through a bunch of information that you already knew. But I hope to see you guys again next week. And yeah, have a good day. You're welcome, Mia. Okay, see you guys. Feel free to leave whenever you want.